Top of the morning to you, everybody. So we're out here at the training gardens. Today's another ag day at the Axe Training Center. As you can see, we still have a little more work to do down here at the gardens to get the soil ready. We have, more cardboard to put down and more wood chips, but you can see the finished result looks nice. Got the wood chips in the pathways, and then the leaf mold on top starting to decompose this stuff. And we have these two sections to do, but we've done all these going through there. Looking good. But right over here is where an orchard is going in, and that is what we're working on today. Jonah, my friend Jonah, is out here and we're working together. He's mostly doing stuff today. He's going to be training on how to install an orchard. I'm super excited about that. It's going to be great. Orchard times, here we come. I'll be filming Jonah as he talks about what it looks like to install an orchard in a sustainable, natural way, working with contour, spacing, all that good stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Got a tree here. Cherry tree, maybe an apple here, plum. Got some big boys here. These are the Rams. Big boy there. Hey, buddy. How's it going?
We're out here today at Greenville, and we're going to be starting some trees. We're starting some rows. We're actually starting an orchard, but we're just planting a couple trees today. Well, more than a couple, like 30. Yeah. But so this is gonna be our area, kind of from basically where that power pole is right there.
Yeah.
But out of about 20 feet, kind of running along this natural fence line here. Mm-hmm. And then, so basically everything inside that fence line, running all the way around that fence line to where those trees are, and then basically where that little brush is, and that tiny little stream, all the way up, following that stream, and then kind of back up to where that fence is over there where the dog is kind of our whole orchard area.
Okay.
And so we're going to be starting up in that corner, and we're going to have our rows coming across this area, this wide open space. We're going to have our rows going across and working our way down the hill.
Yeah.
So that way
with
our
contour.
rows are not going against the contour, but going with the contour.
And it also works out east-west, which is best.
Yes. As you can see, the sun right here, it's about 10 o'clock in the morning, and the sun is straight ahead, and it starts right over that hill. I would imagine it probably rises about 7:30, at least it probably did today. And then it follows all the way over here, and then probably goes behind that hill at about probably 7 o'clock, maybe 7:30.
Yeah, so you get pretty good amount of sun.
So this area right here is very wide open, gets a lot of sun throughout most of the year. So it's a perfect area for an orchard. And it's lower grade, and it's in a lower area, so it's going to have more moisture. It's going to be able to retain more moisture, especially if we add some organic material, which we plan to do. So this is really a good area for an orchard. We're not trying to grow things on a steep hill, or we're not going to deal with as much erosion. So I'm really excited. This is going to be a cool area to start our orchard.
Let's do it. High five. Here we go. I'm excited.
Sweet. Let's go get the flagging, and actually I'm excited that you and I can work on the spacing beforehand.
Yeah, we'll get it all situated where you can just teach rather than having to worry about all the logistics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'll help you. Don't worry, wait, y'all stay there.
Like a long string.
Maybe let them do that later. Yeah, 'cause we got that line right there.
Well, let's do
This line with contour. Where are you working, like how many feet in diameter? You said 17 to 19 feet?
We're gonna do 17 feet between rows, and we're gonna do about 14 feet between trees.
Okay.
All right, so can you come stand right here?
Yeah, all the people are here to help. Starts, you can see the line going straight down there. Straight line. All the way to the top up there. Now we're measuring down 7.
Designated caretakers for all these pieces so that way nothing fails. We want it to be successful as it moves forward to the next generations. And so we know that Yahweh brought Jonah here. Yah willing, it will be for long term, but even if it's just for short term, you know, we're just thankful for every opportunity that he's able to come and give and help teach us. This day, we planned this day 2 years ago. It was part of the vision. We knew we wanted it, and so this has been a long time coming, working to get to this point. We wanted to do it last year. We didn't have the correct help to be able to even learn how to put them in properly, the right way, and then also maintain them. And so it is a very, very big day for me and for those of us that have been serving here and working. You know, between Kendra and Richard and, you know, the different people of the Ag Council that have been here for the last several years working and just making these plans and just waiting and waiting and waiting. It's a very, very big deal. So thank you all for supporting purchasing the trees, for supporting being here to actually put them in the ground. We'll do as much as we can today. It's a very big deal that, that you guys are participating in, that I get to participate in too. So go ahead, Jonah Siller. Thank you.
Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for coming out. This is our first official tree planting day for the orchard here at Axe. I'm very excited to just be a part of what the Lord is doing here. It's an absolute blessing. So to just give you guys a little bit of, well, I'll start out with a little background on myself because I may not have met some of you. I'm originally from Georgia, a little bit south of Atlanta, and I grew up on about 4 or 5 acres, a lot of woods, a lot of trees, and just was homeschooled. Ran around playing in the woods and just really developed a love for nature and just for taking care of the environment. And so it's just been an incredible journey of always being kind of an outdoorsy kid, trying to pursue something in agriculture. And the Lord led me to the University of Tennessee right out of high school, and led me to study a degree in forestry. But today, we are going to be focusing on establishing the layout. So me and Mr. Richard have already gone ahead and established where the rows are going to be. We're going to be starting out with 9 rows. We've got 32 trees to plant, I think. 32?
33.
About 33? Awesome. Sweet. So we've got, we're going to have 1 row of pears, 1 row of plums, 2 rows of peaches, 1 row of cherries, and 4 rows of apples. We ended up with a lot of apples, so I'm excited about that. So that's going to be awesome.
Apple pie, apple kebab,
Apple butter.
Oh, apple preserves.
When's lunch?
The most important thing is in setting up a strong foundation for our trees is going to be spacing, which is what we started out right here. So what we've got is we have our rows spaced about 17 feet apart in between the rows. And then we're going to space our trees about 14 feet apart. And the reason why this is important is because as the trees grow and develop, we want the canopies to be close enough together that for all the pollination vectors such as bees, birds, butterflies, different bugs, we want them to not have a lot of distance to travel between the trees so that we can encourage better pollination and better fruit set. But we also don't want the trees to grow too close together so that if they're not properly maintained, they're going to start crowding each other out. And if we end up with any kind of pest issues, if the areas are too crowded, then we're going to have, it's going to make the problem worse. And so what we want to do is have a good balance of spacing to where there's all of the pollination vectors are going to work together really well to pollinate the trees. But we're going to have enough space that we can walk in and out between the different trees and maintain them well, and have the trees to where we can come in and grab the fruit really easily and not have any issues with that. So I don't know if you guys are up for helping out. you know, this is kind of a work day
Yes,
today.
I mean,
so.
part of the training also is if you'll just take us through, every person get a tree and get a shovel, and you'll take us through the proper way to do the hole, the proper way to put everything in, so that way we can actually go home and duplicate this at home.
Yeah.
Is it okay for pollination was the question, or like not crossbreeding? We don't have to worry about any crossbreeding between an apple and a pear and a cherry? And
No.
Okay.
But you do want different species, which we have gone ahead and gotten several different species within each variety. Or sorry, several varieties within each species of fruit, because we want good cross-pollination. And if we so happen to end up with some kind of pest or bug that comes in, it's less likely to wipe out an entire crop. It might only take out one or two varieties, and then we can bring another variety in to replace it later on, if that happens. Yes?
How big is the hole in relation to what we're pulling out of the pot? Do you say, like, do we have to go, how much bigger than that?
Okay, so what I recommend from what I've learned and from what I've experienced is twice the size of the root ball.
Twice the size.
So those root balls are a foot in diameter and a foot deep. And so what we want to do is go a couple inches deeper, and I'll explain that reason later on.
Okay.
But the reason we want to go wider is because we want to widen the hole because we're going to fill it with additional dirt.
Okay.
And what that does is that's going to allow the roots to have nice, like aerated, fresh soil to grow into as they're developing and as they're like branching out from being root bound in a pot. And so by the time that they hit this actual like hard pan dirt, they're going to be established enough that they're not going to be resistant to it. They're going to have space to be able to grow and establish and get strong before they hit the hard dirt. And I'm also going to recommend us to go off into the woods and get a little bit of topsoil out of the woods, because the woods contains natural mycelium and fungus and bacteria, which help break down the soil and help improve the life of the tree, and I'll explain more of that later on. And so we want to put a few handfuls of that kind of soil in each hole to help inoculate the soil.
Folks, it's going in. Look at this. We dug a lot of holes here. Trees are all set out. We're digging more holes than we actually need today. It's going to be pretty exciting whenever all the other ones get filled. You can see there's not a tree near here or there or down there, but those trees are coming in. They're getting sponsored by people in the community. So as soon as they're sponsored, we'll go ahead and put them out here. The top rows are more so the apples. There's 4 rows of apples, and then beyond that it's peaches, pears, plums, and cherries. And then, yeah, we're digging them twice the diameter of the actual pots, as you can see. At least twice the diameter. And then a good 15 inches deep. And then up there you can see Miss Stacy, she's getting some soil from the forest so that we can inoculate the soil with that same forest soil. It's going to have some mycorrhizae fungi and also all kinds of beneficial, probably different types of bacteria. And so we're trying to get the soil biota just to thrive right where we're starting these trees. How's it going, man?
Hey, Pancho.
You need some help?
I need a string, yeah.
All right.
And I do need your help if you've got time.
Yeah, for sure.
Sweet.
This guy's putting me to work. It's crazy.
The foundation of every tree is good root system. So we want to really do the prep work beforehand to get that good root system going, where we're going to establish the tree. So we've already got our holes dug. We've got the holes the width we want them, and we've got them stratified the way we want them so that the roots can spread out and start growing into the dirt. I had you guys dig the holes a little bit lower than the base of the tree than where the base of the tree was sitting in the pot. And the reason for that is so that we could add dirt to the base of it and establish the tree the way we want it. So we want the tree to be growing as straight as we can get it on all sides. And so this one right here is a little bit low because you can see the graft point is right about here. That's about where the base of the tree is. And so we want this to be a little bit higher. The collar, yes. All right, so what we're gonna do is, Logan, if I'll have you pull up on this a little bit, get your hands down in there and pull up on the root system. I'm gonna add dirt around. All right, so another thing we wanna do before we level off our soil with the ground is we wanna add this soil, which is inoculated, into this hole. And the reason why I want this soil, which came from the surrounding forest, is because this soil is gonna be inoculated with mycorrhizae. Does anyone know what mycorrhiza is?
Is that the mycelium?
Fungi that grows for a mile, maybe.
Yes.
Bring nutrients to the roots and feeds water and nutrients to the tree. God designed this whole thing.
Like a symbiotic relationship.
Yes. So mycorrhiza is a fungal. It's a symbiotic fungal relationship between basically like a mushroom type fungus and the root system of a tree. And what it does is it grows very much like just a normal root system. It spreads out and it looks very much like a spider web. You can actually see it if you go out into the woods and pull back some of the leaves. You can see kind of this spidery white kind of fungal. That's mycorrhiza.
Happens on compost too, doesn't it?
Yes, it's very, very good for breaking down soil and for absorbing nutrients. And what it does is it connects with the root system of the tree. And so it extends the root system, allows it to absorb more water and more nutrients than it would be without it.
Study done on this mycorrhizae fungi, and they went to a forest that had unbroken lines. So basically it was an old forest that continued for miles and miles. There was no roads cutting across it. You know, all the trees are kind of connected. And they could tell where the fungi was connected with some type of electrical current. And they thought, you know, for sure, like a mile would be the furthest that one organism would be connected, like all the fungi connected. But they went ahead and went out all as far as 5 miles, and they got a reading at the 5 mile mark.
Oh my.
That far, and so that means that it kept going. So it's almost like one organism all connected.
Yeah.
With the roots, like they've fused with the tree roots as well.
Mycorrhiza
cool.
can extend the root system and can extend its drawing in capacities from up to 3 to 300 feet, depending on the species and how much mycorrhiza is in the area and how unbroken it is.
And they communicate with other trees through it too.
Yeah, it's really cool. It can connect different species and of trees together.
They
which is
also
really
found
awesome.
that the older trees would actually send nutrients to the younger trees and in the understory to help them come up through the fungi.
And I just read some study they recently did about trees that drop their seeds, but they know which seeds are theirs, and they will send nutrients to those and not to other trees' seeds that have blown in. It's like they raise their own little trees. I just read that like
That's
a few
cool.
weeks ago. I was like,
That is awesome.
Older women versus younger
Discipleship.
women.
Yeah,
Discipleship.
that's cool.
So we want soil from our surrounding area that's going to have the mycorrhiza that is best acclimated to this area to help our trees best acclimate to this area, because this is where they're going to be for the rest of their lives. So whenever we're planting our holes here, we want to put in about a shovel full into each hole. And if we run out of dirt, then we can run off and get some more because we got quite a bit to work with.
So you just dug it in. Out
Yeah, it just came from that forest right over there, so that's as close as we can get, So that should be some of the best mycorrhiza to work with.
Cool.
So if we just want to put a couple handfuls into each and mix it in as we're planting the trees, that'll really help it get going really well.
Would you put it on the top or like you're doing now? I don't really know.
I'm mixing it in. I don't really want to put it on I'm going to put a little bit on the top, but I want to mix it in as I'm adding the soil in so that it can incorporate with the roots as we're establishing the whole plant. So let's continue. So what we're doing here is we're adding half a bag of this potting mix, and what that's going to do is that's going to mix in with the natural soil and give it, basically you're mixing different aggregates so that you have better moisture retention, and you have different nutrients that are being added that might not already be here.
Loosen soil so that moisture can get deeper too.
Yes.
And retain moisture.
And it also makes it easier for the roots to be able to spread out and establish, because you're adding a little bit of extra aeration to the soil through this lighter material. And I was just going to say, as we're planting this, we want to pack it down lightly with our hands, but you don't want to step on it, and you don't want to pack it down too heavy because you don't want to compact the roots.
You want to aerate it?
Yes. We're going to add a cover of wood chips or some kind of organic material on top, which is going to continue to soften the soil around the tree and continue to break down that clay soil so that it doesn't become root bound or experience root rot or anything like that.
Is it critical what potting soil you use?
You want to try to go with as organic as you can. If you know the source, the better, because sometimes some of these sources from the different stores or larger markets, you don't know where it's coming from. So if you know where your soil is coming from, that's the best thing to use. Especially if you make it yourself. If you make your own compost, that's probably the best. Since we're on a slope, we're taking the extra dirt and we're creating a swell so that the water doesn't run off and cause erosion around the hole that we just dug. And it allows nutrients to catch in that area around the base of the tree as it's being established.
Kind of like a little mini garden.
Yeah, just like that.
Actually, over time, it'll help the soil improve more right here. Guys, we're out here. We're getting it all knocked out. People are all working together. Look at this little girl just having a good time. Everybody is team working it, right? This is Miss Joanne. That's my aunt's name. Miss Joanne, if you're watching this, we have another Joanne out here. And we were just talking about how it's been fun, the journey of me learning how to do videos and do the YouTube, and how awesome yesterday's video was with my dad.
Yeah.
Apparently they watch me, so I'm kind of like, whoa, yikes. They know all the stuff. It's fun to meet people that are watching.
It's fun to know somebody that's what do you call it? Celebrity.
Well, no, not a celebrity. I'm just a person out here doing stuff. Yeah. But everybody's been super encouraging out here. We're having fun. And I think we're going to get everything planted.
It's a beautiful day.
It really is. It really is. Teamwork. I love seeing the kids out here.
Yeah. Imagine growing up doing this kind of thing. Wow.
I know. It's actually her birthday today.
Yeah.
Hadassah.
She's 3.
Hey Hadassah, what do you got there?
I got worm and I got worm and then who got it on her.
Whoa, what kind of worm?
It's Belle.
It's what?
It's Belle.
Belle.
It's Belle.
The name's Belle.
Oh, okay. This is Belle the worm. Belle is doing a good job for us, isn't she?
Yeah.
We like worms. Good job, Hadassah. Hadassah, is your birthday today?
La.
Yeah? You having a good worm birthday?
How old are you?
3.
3? Whoa. How many is 3 fingers?
I'm busy with my worm.
This is their mom, Miss Bryony. I don't know. We might get you on the channel sometime with, if you want to, with herbal stuff.
Wow.
She knows all about herbal remedies and natural stuff. All the weeds that we can use out here for helping our bodies be healthy. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, Hadassah. High five. High worm five. Good job. Keep it up. Especially you want to add organic matter on top of clay soils, because clays tend to dry out. They hold water. They hold a lot of water because there's so much porosity. There's so many little areas for the water to be. But when the sun hits it, it dries out and becomes real hard. So the best thing with clay, which this is not very clayey soil, it's got a lot of silt in it, but it does have clay in it. The best thing with clay is you want to have a nice layer of organic matter on top. And that's why, if you want to pan around here a little bit, that's why we're putting straw or hay, this is hay, around each plant. Just to shade that top layer and add organic matter. To finish this off, I'm just breaking this out back down, and we're making a little bit of a berm below the plant so that when water comes down, it catches right where the tree is. We'll also later on be putting more wood chips, or putting wood chips to be able to, really the goal is to put wood chips over everything, but to start out we can only put it, they're about a 10-foot diameter, so 5 and 5 feet. But we also added soil from the surrounding forest, and that's going to inoculate the soil with beneficial mycorrhizae fungi, and who knows what else, bacteria, fungi.
Because you're a fun guy.
You're a fun guy.
Nice. I was just wanting to do a pun, but I was like, I don't want to be too punny, you know? People can't handle too much of bingeness, garden guyness, but you put a plug in, thank you. But yeah. Yep, so we're planting these trees with a little TLC. And the last thing I like to do is I try to make sure that the collar is exposed. The collar is where the roots and the stem intersect. or connect. So we don't want that to be covered up because the tree especially breathes a lot right there. Has a lot of breathing pores. So if you're covering that up, you're basically suffocating the tree. So we're trying to make sure that's nice and happy. Then we'll get some hay and cover it up. It's a good start for a good tree. Thanks for filming.
Guys, we gotta get him to 15,000 likes by the end of this month.
Yes,
Ooh,
that's
what?
awesome. For my YouTube channels.
Oh,
We have
who are you on the YouTube?
I'm the garden guy on the YouTubes.
guy.
Whoa, you're gonna subscribe right now?
Huh?
You gonna subscribe right now?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm not sure
hopefully
why
you
you're
like it.
leaving yet. You're still not done with wood chips.
Okay.
Well, Jonah's leaving, so I'm supposed to be leaving.
You guys have like an hour and something to drive, don't you?
Yeah, hour and 45 minutes.
I either have
Starts at 6.
to finish it out
But y'all, it's looking so good. Good job, Katie. Good job, Mr. Scott.
Okay. So do you want to tell
Timothy,
them up there to start? I think
knocking it out. See everybody. Bye.
Bye.
No, just garden guy. Should be on there. So what a wonderful day. We got a lot done. The orchard is in. Plus we did some garden work. Man, wonderful folks, wonderful times. Working together to transform spaces into edible and beautiful abundance. See you guys next time.